Hello, you obsessed Japanese school fans. Have you ever had the feeling of not wanting to go to school and actually succeeding in doing so? But to pull off such feat is no easy task because of, well,
parents.
And the school itself is out there to ensure that you show up or there will be substantial consequences to endure. But what if I tell you a school elementary boy did that? That's right, he succeeded what every boy dream of, so much so that the parents and the school itself is in agreement. Yes, son. You don't need to go to school anymore. You know, Japan is a place where respect is a high priority. So is it a surprise that even the school is respecting the boy's feeling of not wanting to show up? Oh, Japan, you have once again shown us why your high levels of considering other people's feelings is something we wish to have. So this story took place in Handa Aichi Prefecture last fall, and in one of its school there was a student who is slowly not showing up, and as his rate of attendance is slowly decreasing, let's just say the teacher picked that up, which also happens to be the teacher's strength. Well, more on that later. Fueled by the spirits of education, this teacher has decided that enough is enough. No student of mine should be isolated in a world where I educate. I will use my words of fury to impart knowledge so that every student of mine will have a promising future. With that, I ask the Lord of the textbooks to grant me strength as I shall show the boys the powers of education by personally showing up to his front door. Hi.
Huh?
Teacher? Boy, why aren't you going to school? Now that's a scenario I imagine happening as the homeroom teacher speaks to the boy personally as he answers the door. It was reported that a few words were exchanged, but ultimately the boy decided that
the conversation is over.
Done with this conversation. Continuing his refusal of going to school, the boy put a stop to the conversation, turned around, and went to the kitchen. I don't know, possibly maybe to get some snack to continue watching off all those animes that he would probably have time to do so while he's sitting at home. But unfortunately for this boy, this teacher is not one to mess with, and he should have known better. Driven by the gods of teaching, this teacher not only followed him to the kitchen, picked him up, and put the boy into the car. That's kidnapping right there. See, I told you about picking up this school teacher's strength. We see why. And throughout this whole entire interaction, the boy's older sister was there the whole time, witnessing the entire abduction. You're coming with me back to school. I'm getting you into my car whether you like it or not. No, that's kidnapping. Help! Daddy? Ototo is being kidnapped. By the teacher? Learning about the situation, the parents of the boy called up the school, and unfortunately for the teacher, this educated abduction did not succeed. As the school was notified before the teacher made it back to the premise, the boy was allowed to return home without attending any class. Now I don't know if it was the teacher who actually sent him back home, but I can already feel the disappointment that the teacher must have had in admitting defeat that even the school is allowing the boy to continue on with his ways. And did I mention that this school teacher was a female? Suddenly, the emotions I had was seeing the teacher driving back sadly, with feelings of defeat and sadness, as she did admit later on that she thought she was doing the right thing. What she was trying to do in her mind was to create a reason for the boy to go back to school. Now I wonder why did she went on to this route? Did she wanted to use the whole anime route? Perhaps inspired by anime stories such as Great Teacher Onizuka? Where a crazy teacher will go all out to ensure a student is being helped and eventually forming an insane bond, and then leaving a wonderful impression of the student's time during the school. But unfortunately, we later learned the reason why the boy did not go to school was due to his
relationship with other students.
Perhaps things were not working out well for him and his friends, and there are no other ways to solve it but to just not show up, which helps in avoiding these people he has trouble with. And as for what happened to the school teacher, well, the school has reprimanded her for taking actions that ignore the boy's feelings. An apology to the family was made. Thinking the whole situation, it made me in some ways respect the bravery and the courage of the school teacher taking on a route that is just so unique. I mean, kidnapping. But at the same time, it is valid for what the school did because they did consider her taking actions that ignore this boy's feeling, because no problems are really that simple. The boy did not go to school because he can't or he doesn't have the means to. It's just that
he doesn't want to.
Just kidnapping him and sending him to school isn't going to fix things. And I guess the teacher had great intention, because if you didn't care about your student, you wouldn't go all out to do this. But I always wondered, why wouldn't she just take other approach such as calling the parents first? Maybe a text would do. I don't know. Well, I hope the teacher did not get into too much of trouble because she did have a good intention. And as for the boy, I hope he found his solution that works for him, and as well as catching up with education while still having great relationship with some peers. What do you think about the situation? What do you think about the teacher's action? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for now, that's it for today's video. So subscribe to this channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.